Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn how to open and close the web browser in Playwright. So, to start and stop the Playwright environment, first we have to import the functions, right? Sync Playwright functions from the Playwright synchronization API. So, for that we can say from Playwright, right? So, from the Playwright dot, we have a sync API we need to call. Then we need to import sync Playwright. So this is what we have to do. Then we have to start the Playwright environment. So for that we can say with here sync Playwright we need to call. So and assign it to the any variable. So you can assign any variable. You can say as, can give any variable name. Just I am given a P over here. Right? The with statement ensure that resources are properly managed and released when done. Okay. Now I just wanted to launch a new instance of the browser. You can use any browser. I'll go with the Firefox. So for that we can say p dot. You can call Firefox. Firefox dot. We can say launch. Right. So we have to launch your Firefox browser. So we want to our browser should visible. Right. So run the browser in headed mode. Meaning the browser window should be visible. So for that what we can do? We can add headless. Right. So headless equal to we can make it as a false. So now then we can add a slow mode as well. Slow mode, we can add any milliseconds. So now just now I have added a 500 milliseconds over here. Okay, slow mode 500 means it's slow down the execution of each operations by 500 milliseconds to make sure it easier to observe and what is happening. Right, to open a new, then we have to open a new tab or page in the browser. So for that we can say page equal to browser dot. So you can store it in a browser variable, this one. Okay. I just store it this variable browser equal to. Okay, now I just wanted to open a new tab or page. For that we can say page equal to browser, right? So dot new page. So this is what we have to do. So now then we have to navigate to the specified URL, right? Once the page is opening, now we need to navigate to the URL. So for that we can say page dot browser, sorry, page dot uh, go to, right? So we have to within a double quotes we need to pass https. You can copy that from your browser or you can add this way as well. O.in, right? So now this is the way how to pass your URL. Okay, so within the double quotes we need to pass your URL. So then if you want to print the title of the page, right, the current page to the console, we can say page dot title. Right, so if you want to print, you can add a print. Print page dot title you can add. Okay, now it's going to retrieve the title of the page. So finally what we have to do, we need to close the browser. For that you can say browser dot close. That's it. Okay, now what we have done here, it launches a Firefox browser, right, in non-headless mode. Open a new tab, navigate to the Google page, right, and print the page title to the console. And then we have to close the browser. So the slow mode parameter, right, here what we have given, the slow mode parameter slow down each step, making the action easier to observe. So this can be very useful, sometime if you want to debugging or learning how Playwright interact with the browser. So this is going to help you, right? So now let's move on to the terminal. I'll just open up, go to the, I just want to run this. So I can say Python. You can give your file name. So file name is open browser dot Python. So let's run this. We'll see. So go to terminal. So I'll just go to terminal. So I just go to Python, right? So you have to add a Python. Then you have to add your file name. Open browser dot Python. So let's wait. It's opening the Firefox browser, right? So Firefox browser and navigate to the Google page. And we have to close the browser as well. See, it's returning your title of the page, Google. This is what our expected one. So this is what we have done so far. We use the sync API, right? The same way we have another approach is there to open and close the browser. That is asynchronize. Asynchronize is a async approach. Same thing we can do that. So what we have to do, I'll just import the necessary module first. Import async IO. Right, this way first we have to import that. Then we can say from Playwright, right? So here we need to say instead of sync, right? When we need to say async API, right? Then we have to import async Playwright. So this is what we have to do. I'll show you that what is the difference here in the sync API and async API as well. Now this async IO, right? This is a Python built-in library for writing a concurrent code using async and await syntax, right? Then what we have to do, we have imported that, we have imported async Playwright as well, right? It is imported from Playwright's asynchronous API, okay? So now what we have to do, we have define our, main function. For that, we can say async, right? So we can say async def main. So this is what we have to do. Okay. So now we have to start the Playwright environment, asynchronize and assign it to the variable, right? So for that, what we can do, async, right? The same thing what we have done, the same thing, but we are going to use a async here, right? Instead of sync with then async Playwright. Here we need to assign a variable. See what we have done? This is what we have done. We need to assign any variable. So you can make it as any variable over here. Okay. So next we have to launch your browser. So now here I use the Firefox, right? So now I'm going to use another browser. Maybe we can use Chrome browser. If I want to open a Chrome browser, let's say browser equal to, right here we need to use a keyword called await, right? So here we can use await. Then we can go with the variable p is we have given, right? So we can give a p. Then we'll go with the Chromium. Then dot launch. Right. Here also we can use that headless equal to false. Right. Then we can add a slow mode as well. Slow mode here I can give 2000. Right. See this p.chromium launch, right? That is launches a new instance of the Chromium browser. Then await keyword is used to wait for the asynchronous operation to complete. Then we have a headless false, that is run the browser in the header mode. Okay, now that is visible. User is able to view that. Then slow mode equal to 2000, slow down each operation by 2000 milliseconds. Right, that is 2 seconds. Right. Then if I want to open a browser, right? Right, this is what we have done. First we need to open a browser. For open a browser, we can say page equal to await. Right, so we have to add a await. Then browser dot new page. Right? This is what we have to give. Then we can say it will open a new tab or page in the browser. So we have to navigate to the URL. For that we can say await page dot go to. You can pass the URL. So I'll just copy the URL from here itself. And I just open here. Right? And paste it here. Now we need to, what is that next one? We need to get the title of the page. So we can get the title of the page. So we can say print. Here we need to add a await. Await page dot title. Okay, we need to give a title. So this is what we have to give. Okay, this is print the title of the current page to the console and await page dot title retrieve the title of the page. Then what we have to do, we need to finally close the browser. So we can say await, right, browser dot close. That's it. So now we have this function, right? So we need to run in a main function. So what we can do, we can say async IO. We need to call the async IO, right? Run. We can say main. Run main. Okay. So now sync IO dot. Okay. So now this is from here on it is going to run. Okay. For time being, I'll just command this line first. Okay. I don't want to run this. We'll see how this is working. So now let's run this. Same file. So let's run this. See, it's opening the Chrome browser. Okay. Before we have done, it's the Firefox browser. Now it's opening the Chrome browser and get the title of the page, and it is closing the browser as well. So why we have a different approach? What is the difference here in sync and async over here, right? So now sync operations, right, are executed one after another, right? Blocking the execution until each operation is completed. This means each step must wait for previous one to finish. If you go to async, this can be executed concurrently, meaning that it allowing the program to handle other tasks while waiting for some other operations to complete. So this async and await keywords are manage the task. So actually here we have used that async and await keyword, right? So these keywords are manage this task. Okay, actually sync suitable for a simple script. It's easier to write and understand for a basic task, right? If you are working on a in IO, in input output bound or high latency operations like a network request or browser automation, it improves the performance by not blocking the execution. And it can handle multiple operations concurrently. That's what we are using as async. Right. Suppose if you are involving network input output or file input output or any operations where waiting is involved, right? So this async is a beneficial one for a web. And also we can say like a web scrapping, or if you are doing a browser automation and handling a multiple concurrent operations, right? We can go for a async only. Okay. So this is what you are, can open and close the browser. Okay, using Playwright.